One Piece 1137 just dropped, and I really like this chapter. This chapter had what I always call the trifecta, when it has good lore, good action, and overall good settings. Just the way how it moves and just how the mood is of what's going on. And for this chapter, the title card with Who's Who, how Yamato just found Who's hideout. I really like that because Who's is a character that I wonder about him if, because when Luffy was fighting Kaido, I'm pretty sure everybody heard that heartbeat, that drum beat, and I wondered if Who's Who actually was able to see that shit in the sky, and that he just started recruiting people because he wants to form like an alliance behind Joy Boy. Because one of the biggest thing I remember about Who's Who is when he got locked up for losing the gum fruit. Joy Boy was his salvation. That's all he can think about. So Who's Who is a character I'm really hoping to see back in this series. But the chapter starts off with the crew for going into the Forbidden Castle where King Harold and Loki had a big fight. And one thing about Elbaf that I keep forgetting, that these are giants. So it's like when they walked in and like you could barely see anything, I'm like, what the? And then I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot. We're not in these like miniature, not really miniature, but the real lifestyle size islands anymore. And well, now we're on Elbaf, so everything is going to always be bigger. And Luffy, bro, you can just go Gear 5 and go giant form and you'll have no problem, but it does waste a lot of energy, so I'm just messing around. I just really like that Gum giant Gear 5. That shit just looks so cool. But Road is pretty much carrying them around, and it seemed like the castle had been broken out of. Someone was in and they broke the door from the inside, and of course it's Gunko and Fake Shanks, who we're gonna maybe find out who he is later. But as Road is giving the lore to what happened with King Harold and Loki, and that how Loki then killed 100 of the fucking soldiers and left only one, Jawu. I'm sorry. Growing up in 2000, I had to say that. Every time I hear Jawu, it's too. I don't remember how it goes, but every time I hear Jawu, I think about the fucking rapper. And I grew up in the 2000s, so. But yeah, Jawu is one of the guys that lived throughout the onslaught, and the whole thing about it is, so it's like everybody saying that, okay, yeah, Loki killed King Gerald, but I don't get how nobody has the facts or the story or can even really confirm that. They just locked the man up. And I think Jaro got killed by Big Mom, but I guess his story we're gonna have to figure out and unravel a little bit later. But you see that King Harold had horns just like Loki did. And I've seen a theory from a YouTuber I watch, BDA Law, and I do think that King Harold and Kaido, it's like, one thing I know for like Norse mythology, just because your race is a giant, that doesn't mean you're always gonna be big. So that's the whole thing with Yamato and Kaido. I mean, but Yamato's a really tall. She's like taller than Zoro and Sanji and them. So she is pretty big. Like, don't get me wrong, she's not like giant status. But fucking look at Kaido. He's like a miniature giant in himself. Motherfucker just towers over everything. He still be skipping leg day. That shit's crazy. But with the horns on his head, even though Kaido's horns did seem a little, I won't even say bigger. The horns probably do come in different sizes and shapes. But I want to know if it's just like how King was, where they have their own pretty much tribe. Because you then find out that Haruden is actually one of the sons of King Harold. It's just that him and Loki don't have the same mom. So I'm wondering how, since it is different giant races, and that's why Haruden wasn't able to become a prince or allowed in the castle, because his mom wasn't from the same giant's race. And And it's very interesting to know that there's different like races in between these like I mean there's different like nationalities or however you say it, races in between like these different species of giants, fishmen, and stuff like and humans and stuff like that. And it's that's why One Piece. I always say this, but that's why I always enjoyed One Piece because the lore can just it just start off small and it just keeps expanding and expanding, and you think you figured out like a good chunk of it, but nope, it just keeps on going and going. So we really never know what tribe or what type of giant tribe they are from, but they're not from the mainland king of Elbaf. So I mean, Haruden's mom wasn't from the mainland of Elbaf, so that's why they could never view her as a queen. So Loki was able to rule because his mom was. So Haruden doesn't really fuck with that. So he wants to kill. He really wants to get rid of Loki because Loki killed his dad, which I still don't believe because just like how we've seen in Dressrosa, I'm always gonna be thinking about it when they say, "Oh, there's an evil king in Dressrosa." My man Doflamingo pulled a stunt to make the king, Rick, I can't remember his name, but the king of Dressrosa looked like he killed everybody and he was just slaughtering him. And he made the whole country hate that nigga. And I just don't see what's the difference if somebody could have done that to Loki. And Rhoda was just telling him that even from his perspective, he sees Loki as a bad guy, but he's not too 100% sure on all the information of how King Harold died. So it just everyone leaves it up to spectacles. And then speaking of Loki, uh, he's getting his ass beat by Gunko. Still in the underworld as they're trying to make him a God's Knight. Because I'm pretty sure with Fair Garling, Senior Finn Garling becoming a Gorsei, uh, you see his son, which is definitely Shank's twin brother, which I do got a theory about that. I'm gonna make it in the next video. I'm posting tomorrow. That I do got a theory about the Shamrock, which his name. I'm not gonna lie, he got that shit on. Shanks, you my boy, bro, and I fucked the scar on your head on the face, bro. But your twin brother Shamrock's got that shit on, bro. Nice clothes, bro. He even got the gloves on, so I can't even fight it. But as they're beating up Loki, one thing I noticed is that Shamrock, he doesn't. I mean, well, everybody pretty much noticed. Shamrock doesn't have the scar, and a lot of people said that when Luffy meets Shamrock and Gunko, and they see that they're beating up Loki, that Luffy's just gonna automatically think that's Shanks. But one thing I do think about it is Luffy's not gonna be fooled because the moment when Shanks sacrificed his arm for Luffy, that was like one of the I think that's probably like one of the like first times you actually see Luffy like cry or get like upset, even though he's a kid still. And I don't think that's something he's ever gonna forget that Shanks sacrificed that arm from. So if he sees Shamrock with the fit, the swag, and the spare arm, I'm pretty sure Luffy's gonna realize that's just an imposter. And you know how I like to keep these One Piece video shorts because I feel like it's best that you should always go watch it, but I like to explain some of the parts because this was an interesting chapter, very short but very interesting because with the mixture of the lore and the fighting and the fucking background to King Harold, it was a good one. But no break next week. I'm gonna have to tackle the next chapter very early on, but I really gotta do this theory about this Shanks as a twin. I'll save that for the next video, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. It's been a short one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah.